Which city should you visit? Krakow or Warsaw?
We spent 3 days in Warsaw and now we arrived to Krakow. Join us as we explore the city and settle this once and for all.
When it comes to Poland, there's two cities that always seems to be at the front floor of the conversation: Krakow and Warsaw. Both cities have played a significant role in Poland's history, with Krakow being the former capital and Warsaw being the current one. They are both steeped in culture and have a unique charm that draws in visitors from all over the world.
We have just arrived from Warsaw to Krakow and we already can feel the difference between the two cities. While Warsaw was very modern and there were a few tourists during the winter season, here in Krakow, even it's a low season, it's still lots of crowds of people and the city streets are much more narrow and much more, you can feel the heritage of the place.
On the other hand, Warsaw feels like a city that's all about modernity and progress. From the Palace of Culture and Science to the trendy bars and clubs on the Praga district, the city has a very international feel to it.
Our first attraction in Krakow would be the Wawel castle, which is historically and culturally the most important site in Poland.
The castle, established by King Casimir III and enlarged during the centuries into a number of structures, including the Wawel Cathedral, in which the Polish monarchs were coronated and buried. We can take a guided tour or individually walk around with an audio guide.
From Wawel Hill we continue straight to the old town gigantic square.
The Rynek Glowny is the largest medieval square in Europe.
In the center there is a Sklot Hall, a large market hall erected in the 13th century. It was extended into the Gothic style in the 14th century and it was remodeled in the 16th century into the Renaissance fashion. Eventually it has become the first national museum in Krakow.
Which will be the best museum if you love art and history, but if you want to learn about the history of the city, the Underground Museum is the best choice.
By the way, most museums in Krakow are free of charge on Tuesdays, but this makes them way overcrowded, so don't be tempted and avoid those days. Let's talk about nightlife. In Warsaw we found only 2 open bars during the week. The clubs and the bars are open only in weekends and only in the summer season. On the other hand, on the day we arrived to Krakow, we found a drum and bass party at one of the clubs called High Park. We definitely could feel the difference between the empty Warsaw streets compared to the Krakow rich nightlife. Get ready for the next one because it's the most visited place in both Warsaw and Krakow. A tragical place that is not suitable for everyone. The next day we travel to Auschwitz Birkenau extermination camp. While it takes 4 hours from Warsaw, it's only 1 hour away from Krakow, so if you want to visit there, you definitely need to stay in Krakow. This is the reason we came to Krakow in the first place. Visiting this place is mentally challenging. During World War II, about 1.2 million Jews and Poles were killed here in the most horrible ways by the Nazis. Started as a barracks, it was converted into a prison for war criminals in 1939. Later on becoming the concentration and extermination camp as we know today. The Red Army took over the camp on January 27, 1945, and this date is commemorated as the International Holocaust Remembrance Day.
Good morning guys, we are staying in Krakow for only 2 days and I accidentally found this place outside of the city that looks so amazing on the pictures that I couldn't resist to come here.
We talk about Wieliczka salt mine. The reviews highly recommend this place, so we've decided to come here.
Fun fact about the mine, that is so huge that visitors can see only 2% of the mine. The mine is dated back on the 13th century when salt springs began to weaken and disappear. An active search for brine was started through the construction of wells, until one day they accidentally found rock salt and the construction of mine shafts has begun.
Fun fact guys, the word celery comes from the word salt. On the ancient times, way before money invented, people were trading with salt. Guys, we finished the tour. It was very stunning and fascinating. It is a 2 hours guided tour inside the mine and then you either can finish the tour or you can continue to the guided tour inside the museum, which is for half an hour and it's included in the ticket. And I actually love this because the guide can tell you what you see in the exhibition, which is a nice touch.
There is a lot of walking, around 3 kilometers and about 800 stairs, so bear that in mind when you book the tour. But also there are elevators for people with disability.
Guys, I want to conclude our trip after traveling both Krakow and Warsaw. Krakow our favorite by far, and that's because both cities offer dozens of things to do, but there's much more things and attractions in Krakow thanks to the history and the heritage of the city. There's lots of tourists even of the winter season, and also there is a more nightlife scene here in Krakow than in Warsaw. In Warsaw basically everything is closed during the winter season, while here we went to a party even in the low season. So which city do you prefer, Krakow or Warsaw? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more content from Poland, check out my previous video from Warsaw.
Subscribe for more videos around the world and we will see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.